Articulation most important topics which will be come in-person ion assessment center. Hello friends, welcome back to Smart Nazir Tech Study. Before starting the video, hit a like, subscribe and share. The first topic is art of articulation. So basically the definition of art of articulation is the right content in the right context presented in the right way to the right audience to get the desired outcome. And the next one is articulation parameters. So what are the parameters of articulation are use of context, structure and intellectual control, audience orientation, identification and use of all available channels of communication, choice of ideas to articulate. Don't worry, we shall discuss everything in detail about these parameters. So now the important concept is small talk. What is small talk? So how people around the world use small talk. So in the description of this video I will provide you useful links to the about this topic. So learn more about elevator pitch. So pitch is nothing but your voice tone. And the next one is agile team. So essential tips on next concept is agile meetings. Learn about all kinds of agile meetings and read about the various roles in agile meeting. So all these video links I will add these video links and article I will provide you in the description. So watch the video till the end. Presentation skills and storytelling. So here essential tips on powerful business presentation. So business presentation means in your PPT slides you are conveying something to the client like that. Essential tips on business storytelling. Business storytelling is nothing but if you develop one feature or if you are resolved one bug, how do you resolve it? You need to tell like a story. Next one is learn about the role of storytelling in sales. Now the most important crucial topic is the 6 C's of a story. First C is context, character, chain of events, catch, change, case to point. So context is the framework, context setting, the story, the stage ready, dates, mood, locations, time. So this all comes under context. Characters, names with personalities in your team, the name of the team members and their personalities. Chain of events, which means chronological sequence of events. Catch means twist, attention, grabber. Change is description change or impact. Case to point, key message or moral. Articulation important parameters. You need to remember these parameters and also understand what it means. Use of context, structure and intellectual control, audience orientation, choice of ideas to articulate, identification and use of all available channel of communication, ability to drill down and provide details, ability to apply the meaning of a story, plausibility, language, grammar, pronunciation, paraverbal and handling questions. Now we shall discuss each one of them. So what is use of context? Here there is one video, importance of knowing the context when communication. So this video link I will provide in description. And the next parameter is structure and intellectual control. So this also I will provide. And the next one is audience orientation, identification and use of the available channels of communication, article and learn how to identify and use the various communication channels. So communication channels are nothing but Teams and your WhatsApp, everything. Learn how to deal with information gaps. Choice of ideas, learn how to create messages that matter. Ability to drill down and provide details. So learn how to run effective meetings. If you are meeting host, you need to know how to run effective meetings. That things will be asked in all in-person exams. Ability to apply the meaning of a story. Learn how to apply the meaning of a story in a business context. So I will provide you this article link. And plausibility, click on the embedded link. So learn how to make your communication believable. Language, grammar, pronunciation. So learn about the importance of tone in communication. And another one is learn about the importance of non-verbal communication or body language. So body language plays important role in presentations. Handling questions, learn about the surprising power of questions. Learn about the types of questions. So this kind of quotes will come in exam. So to communicate effectively and work seamlessly across global teams, one needs to develop a skill. The skill is intercultural skill. Intercultural agility is the ability to work efficiently across different cultural settings in today's increasingly business environment. Intercultural competence is the key skill that makes one culturally agile. It allows a person to do so much things. Now, do you know yourself? Think of 2 habits that you would refuse to change under any circumstance. Comment your opinion on this topic. And another topic is, think of 2 habits that you would be ready to change if circumstances demand. The 2 habits that would you have refused to change, which is under any circumstance belong to your core values. And the another 2 habits you would change belong to your flexibility. Now identify your knots. That's the place from which conflicts will arise. We become aware of our own mindsets, habits, biases when we are taken out of non-cultural contexts and placed in informal, unfamiliar ones. Cultural competency means being positive about different worldviews. A person's outlook towards the world is shaped by individual upbringing, social norms, and religious beliefs. So other cultures. Are you able to identify how a person's culture is different from or similar to yours? So for example, you are in India, you are talking with the US. So how his talking style and his slang much more difficult. So you need to understand. You should be able to know this type of their similar or different forms. Cognitive flexibility, which means it is the ability to shift perspectives. This helps understand how others look at the world. A flexible mindset is one of the core skills that allows one to flourish in an intercultural settings. Now the next one is, developing cognitive flexibility takes time. It's a behavioral shift, but knowledge of customs and social practice is easy to pick up and can be accomplished quickly. One can start with that. So you need to practice and then you will be able to pick up and can be accomplished quickly. Uncertainty and ambiguity. How do you handle uncertainty as well as ambiguity situations? Do you look, so these kind of questions will come in ION assessment centers. So do you look for information that support your beliefs and validates your thought process? Or do you look for information that gives you an understanding of the situation? If your response is yes to the second question, you have the required mindset to deal with uncertainty. So you need to adopt this kind of attitude. Do you look for information that gives you an understanding of the situation? So if you have this kind of attitude, you need to change to this one. Do you look for information that supports your beliefs and validates your thought process? Is not much correct. So second, this option is correct. Now tips to deal with uncertainty. If the uncertainty is happened, your project technology will change, your project work environment will change. How do you react? First one is, do not panic. Second step is, look for information that helps you understand the situation. If one task is given to you just not understand what the task you need to do. So first of all, you don't need to panic and look for information that helps you understand the situation. And the third step is, methodically determine the best approach to deal with the situation. You need to connect with a particular person who has knowledge on this and you have to grab the knowledge in order to do that thing. Now the important topic is empathy and rapport building. Every human being feels emotions. Not Indians, not Americans, not Europeans. Every human being feels emotions. Demonstrating empathy includes the ability to connect emotionally with people. So as a TCSer, you should have empathy towards your life, towards your family, towards your colleagues. So what is intercultural empathy? It is the ability to understand the dynamics of different culture even when the value systems of that culture are different from yours. What does this mean exactly? It means that when you deal with a person from a different culture, you are able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. That means you need to understand their perspective, opposite person perspective, why this person is angry, why this person is not cool. So you need to recognize and support feelings and emotions of that person. So adjust your behavior according to the needs of the other person. So these all comes all under the empathy. So practice of empathy is necessary in nowadays to do businesses or jobs very well. So for you to understand practice empathy, you should have used active listening. You should listen what other person is saying before open up your mouth, and you should be observant of others and open up. Now it's time to open up and you need to talk what is necessary in order to become empathy person. So empathy is a emotional connector which comes and a good rapport that builds trust. Topic 1 here, effect of business culture of stakeholders on project completion. Module 1, how to schedule meetings with location independent stakeholders so that time is not wasted. So here objective is importance of an agenda in a multicultural meeting. So if you are conducting a meeting with a US or European clients, you should have an agenda with you. Same definition of the meetings starts on time. So meetings will be start on time. Planning a meeting, key factors when working in a location independent teams. The effect of language and accent on the duration of a meeting. If you are Indian, then you need to talk slowly and listen effectively. Time wastes for some, relationship building for others. No. So getting down to business versus small talk. So small talk is hi, hello, and some basic level of communication. Non-verbal and paraverbal communication you should be maintained if you are arranging multicultural teams. Now here, effect of business culture of stakeholders on project completion. How to schedule meetings with location independent stakeholders so that time is not wasted. So agenda is here. Meetings without agenda seems unprofessional. So you should have agenda, what the things will be discussed in that meeting, and share agenda in advance to allow for preparation. So share your agenda to your team, and they will suggest you some suggestions also if required. When preparing the agenda, choose the topics which are important. So unnecessary topics you should have to avoid, and invite only those who are required to the meeting. So you need not to call all the people. So if it is a managerial thing, you need to call manager related roles. If it is a development related tasks, you need to combine with developers. So here some question to keep in mind while planning the agenda. Why is the topic on the agenda? What is the expected outcome of this meeting? So what you are going to achieve for this meeting? How all the participants contribute to the meeting? And the next one is language of a meeting. For some, the language of the meeting might not be the first language. So if you are a Delhi or so if you are a person, your mother tongue is not English, obviously. You are living in India. You are a part of India. So then less fluent participant may take more time to express themselves. So avoid showing impatience. So you should avoid showing impatience and empathize. Speak slowly. Use simple language and articulate clearly. So as I said before, you should be speak slowly and listen effectively and articulate clearly. Articulate means you should express your ideas or your your methodologies in a correct manner. Now the duration of a meeting. So time makes sense here. Factors in a buffer time. Confirm primary language of communication beforehand. If necessary, account for interpreters. Incorporate up to 100% more meetings time if using the services of interpreters. Less fluent participant may take more time to express themselves. Factor this in while estimating the duration of the meeting. So you need to estimate the duration of the meeting based on your agenda. Now the second one is how to schedule meetings with location independent stakeholders so that time is not wasted. In some cultures, meeting starts at 10 a.m. Meeting starts at 10 a.m. sharp. Participant expected to assemble prior to 10 a.m. So if the meeting is 10 a.m. then you should be available 9:55, 9:56. It will start exactly 10 a.m. In some other cultures, meeting start at 10 a.m. Meeting starts around 10 a.m. after 10 a.m. also. The actual meeting might start at around 10 a.m. Participants assemble anytime between 9:50 to 10:10. Here there is some time gap is there, so participants are okay for this. If the meeting time is 10, then 10:10 up to 10:10 participant will come. So no problem here. Here we shall follow strict guidelines. Same definition of the meeting starts on time. In cultural which are task oriented, the job at hand is important. Agendas will be followed strictly. Let's get down to business or time is money are commonly used expressions. The purpose of a meeting is to conduct and conclude business only. Someone from a task focused culture will leave a meeting when the time for it is up, irrespective of who else is attending the meeting. So here the perspective will be in late meetings. In relationship oriented, it is a relationship oriented. So this is your personal meeting or this is your team meeting. So then it avoid your relationship will not broke. The steps on completing the task one after another would appear rather robotic and unpleasant. The purpose of the meeting is to get to know people, to build personal relationships and establish trust. Someone from a relationship based culture will not leave a meeting when the time is up, for that could imply disrespect to those present and jeopardize the relationship. Meetings spilling over and thus common in such scenarios. If your speaker is still there, you should not avoid the meeting. You should not be leave the meeting, so they feel disrespected in this kind of culture, late culture. Now how to schedule meetings with location independent stakeholders so that time is not wasted. Another thing is create a protocols, that determine set of rules and establish norms of the meeting from the very beginning. Explain to participants that these norms will be followed. People must know you mean what you say. So these kind of questions will come in MCQs form in person. Be flexible about the process followed. Use multiple platforms to initiate and maintain interactions. And if possible, familiarize yourself in advance with the culture of the different stakeholders to avoid interrupting the behaviors, values and beliefs through the lens of one's own culture. understand why people behave in a particular way, focus on cultural prototypes or cultural averages instead of cultural stereotypes. Keep in mind that not only countries, organizations, and even teams have their own unique cultures. So, what to do during meetings with particular stakeholders so that everyone wins or feels heard or benefits. Points to cover in this are different approaches to hierarchy and decision making in a pluricultural team meetings, culturally relevant approaches for presentations, cultural pointers towards audience orientation and customer focus, building trust in a pluricultural team through reciprocal relationships benefiting all, leveraging the pluricultural team's specific cultural traits and practices to strengthen the team's work and relationships. What to do during meetings with the pluricultural stakeholders so that everyone wins or feels or heard or benefits. So pause the video and read this. This slide also pause the video and read this everything. This one also. And the important topic is what to say, when to say, how to say to improve productivity in geographical dispersed teams. Asking effective questions, decoding silence, working around time difference in geographically dispersed teams, different perspectives on what motivates, how to say what you say, intercultural empathy, asking for help is not a bad thing. And pause the video and read this. Same. Remember why you are asking the question. Are you asking the question to understand the story and what it felt like, or are you asking to find out whose fault it is? So read this. What motivates? Also read past the video and read this. Silence means different things in different cultures. In some culture it is a sign of respect, in others it implies agreement. In some culture it is a way of refusing politely. Silence is also a useful tool for negotiation, particularly since it can unnerve those belonging to a taking culture. Then again, sometimes silence could also mean that one is thinking of a response or is formulating what to say in their minds, relevant when the language of the meeting is not the first language of the speaker. What risks to embrace when working in multicultural teams? So pause the video and read this. Also read this. Stay patient and read this. What is definition of done for meeting appointment timings? Read this. Tip also read this. And this also read this. Why this person is going to this one. Reaching out to stakeholders, especially client members from other cultures. Read out to stakeholders, especially clients member from other cultural teams. Read these tips and tricks. And the business English, about business English, pause the video and read this. Further tips. Pause the video and read clearly. Same, do the same. So this is all about most important topics in articulation. If you have any doubts or concerns, you can connect with me directly in TopMate. So if you have any doubts or queries regarding Wings 1, anything, you can connect with me here, and you can also choose 3 months guidance plan. If you have any concerns about this, you need to book this, and you have to ask. You also, in this I will provide you complete guidance up to 3 months. So price is this. So any career guidance, you can connect with me. Mentorship just 149, so affordable prices. So here 4.75 ratings. out of 5. The testimonials loved the session. So let's read this all things. Okay. We shall meet in another super latest video. Until then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.